Gary Keller is the co-founder of Keller Williams, one of the biggest real estate companies in the world. And he didn't get to where he is now by multitasking. He got there by focusing relentlessly on the things that actually helped him progress his business on a day-to-day basis. So the one thing is not another productivity book about working faster and working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about clarity, prioritization, and ruthless simplicity in a world that's pretty much addicted to busy work. So if you've ever said, I just don't have the time, then this book is going to show you that time is not the issue. It's actually focus. I've read this book multiple times. I actually got recommended it. I was actually a client of ours, and it was because we shared the same co-working space and he saw how much I was working. No one could say I was lazy, but I think this was obviously several years ago, and he knew that I was distracted by trying to do too many things and I didn't quite have good processes and systems in place. So he suggested that I read this book. And actually, since I read this book, it's so simple. It's so basic in a way, but it really helped me achieve my goals. And so the concept is really simple. You just got to ask yourself every morning is, what's the one thing that I could do today to help me get closer to my goals? Now, of course, if you haven't done your goal setting and you don't know what your goals are, then maybe you should go back and do that. And I've got videos to help you do that. So give me a shout if you need any help there. But this book just helps you pose that question. So when you're busy doing your to-do list, or you've got your Notion board or whatever project management software and you've filled all these tasks, ask yourself, do these tasks actually help you get closer to your goal? Because if not, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. And this book helps you really clearly focus your day and your tasks on what actually helps you get you closer towards your goals. So here are my 4 key lessons that I've got from this book. Lesson number 1 is that multitasking is a lie. This is something I've been speaking about a lot because I used to think I was the queen of multitasking. And actually I've realized how inefficient multitasking makes me. Every time you switch tasks, you actually lose time, focus, and energy. We somehow glorify multitasking, but the science shows that actually what happens when you multitask is just that our brain just toggles rapidly and we end up doing both tasks worse, which is really dumb when you come to think about it. Many entrepreneurs call it being productive, but in reality, it's just being busy, and they are very different things. Now, I recently just did a video on how to get inbox zero every single day, and you should totally watch that if you want to find out exactly how I manage my emails, the crazy nightmare that emails usually are for many people, so that it doesn't overwhelm me and I get inbox zero every day. And in that, I talk about the danger of multitasking. I talk about the fact that when you're context switching, it actually takes you 23 minutes to be able to get back to concentrating to where you were. So even if you just try to multitask, you're actually at a detriment to yourself because you cannot get back that focus for another 23 minutes, which is kind of nuts. So multitasking is a lie. That is one of the biggest takeaways from this book that I had. Lesson number 2 is the domino effect. And I really like this because it helps you kind of feel like you're breaking down your goals in a more digestible way. So Gary Keller says that success doesn't come from doing everything, it comes from doing the right thing first. So he likes to use the domino metaphor, where essentially you find the smallest one first and you knock that down and it creates this chain reaction. Your job is to find that smallest task that you can essentially knock down to create the biggest impact. So lesson number 3 is that extraordinary results come from very narrow focus. And what Keller was trying to get at with this is that he believes that you can do anything you want, but what you can't do is everything. So the most successful people that he knows, they actually focus so intently on one goal until that goal is complete and then move on to the next. So entrepreneurs usually burn out trying to fulfill 10 different priorities all at the same time, and they all vie for your focus. Your attention's split between them, so you actually don't do any of them that well. So this book helps you pick one of those priorities and helps you achieve them and win. And now that I'm talking about it again, it sounds like I need to really reread this book. I do love juggling different things. I do love a multitask, even though, like I said, I know that I'm context switching and doing better. Even though I'm focusing on one thing at the time, I'm still doing multiple projects at the same time. It's in my nature. I love doing it. I need to reread Gary's book. So lesson number 4 is that time blocking is non-negotiable. You've probably heard me say it a lot, and actually this is something that most really productive and successful entrepreneurs I know do. They ruthlessly time block their calendar. You cannot focus without boundaries, so this is something that's really important to do. Now, he suggests that you time block your most important task first thing in the morning before the rest of the day's chaos kicks in. Now, as you know, I'm not a morning person, so I don't particularly like to do this, but I do time block usually it's one of my first things after lunch. So I have my lunch, I go for a walk, and I'm kind of really nicely clear in the head, and that's when I kind of focus in my most important task. But it all depends on where you want to do it. The most important thing is that you do time block, you do set aside that focus time for that important task, and you get it done. So during this time as well, I want you to switch off all notifications. You're not going to have any calls, any meetings, any client interruptions, no Slack pings. It's just deep work. So I think this book is super practical. It's such an easy read. It's got loads of different diagrams in it, and it's like really detailed for you. As you can see, I've read it quite a few times. It's pretty battered actually. I really like it. It's got so many useful things, but I'm gonna give you 5 applications that you can apply to your business right away from the get-go that I've taken from this book that I personally use in my day-to-day. So number 1 is to ask yourself that question I mentioned earlier. What is the one thing that you can get done today to help you get closer to your goal? What will make everything easier or even unnecessary? Now, if you write down that one thing, it will help you make your priorities so much more clear than you think. I actually do it every day. I have a notebook where I kind of write down and do my time blocking. In fact, let me find it. It's down here. You can see, I put it into a little TOT. TOT, which is the one thing, and this is just my scribbled one. I have plenty of like journals that I've written at, I've bought, but I actually like to use a notebook and pen, Sam Altman style, and I just write down my day to day, what I'm doing bit by bit, and I go check it off. And this is the one thing that I need to get done. And I do it every single day. So number 2 is that you need to identify your domino. So in your business, you have to ask yourself, what is currently the most impactful thing? So is it improving conversions? Is it hiring the right member of your team? Is it refining your offer? So pick one of those and dedicate most of your time on that one domino to try and actually help it be impactful and knock down all the rest of the things. So number 3 is to block time like a CEO. Treat focus almost like a meeting with your future self. I want you to block out 2 hours of solid, deep work and concentrate on your one thing for the day before you tackle all the other little bits that are kind of niggling in your brain. Like, I want you to really focus on that before you let all the other things kind of distract you and take you out your place. Do it in your most productive time of the day and really focus your deep work session on that one thing. Number 4 is I want you to eliminate someday. Now, to me, someday is code, not so subtle code, for basically never. To me, it's quite simple. If something matters, you schedule it. If it doesn't, delete it. And number 5 is to say no a lot. As I said, this is the one thing, my one thing, that I am really working on at the moment. You've got to realize that every yes that you say to something relatively unimportant is basically a no to something else that actually matters. So you have to guard your focus much like you would guard your profit margin. So The One Thing is one of those few productivity books that actually changes your mindset rather than just your behavior. And I think the reason why I really like it is because it is really simple. It's not something that's telling you that you must do this productivity hack or a new system that's got lots of complicated rules. It's actually just like, guys, what do you want to achieve? Well, okay, let's just do one thing every day. Just one thing. It's trying to make it as simple as possible. And the simpler you make something, the more likely it is that you're going to be able to do it. So it's completely ideal for founders, creators, solopreneurs, all the people who are like drowned in different projects and busyness and everything, and they just need a little bit of clarity in their lives to try and help them achieve their goals. So if you feel somewhat overwhelmed or stuck in a world where you're super busy but not actually moving forward, then I feel like this book will help you really simplify things and amplify your results at the same time. So as you know, I always do 3 book recommendations every time I review one of these books. And for me, the 3 books that I'm going to recommend today are super clear. I've recommended them all before, but I think these all kind of go together in a really good suite of just kind of clear, minimalist mindset, productivity, slower vibes, less hustle, more clarity sort of thing. So number 1 is Deep Work by Cal Newport. You'll know that I'm a big fan of his and listen to his podcast all the time. He's all about the slow productivity, another one of his books. But Deep Work kind of goes hand in hand with this, because Gary Keller is saying that what's the one thing every day that you should do? Well, once you know that one thing, go away and do your deep work. If you're not sure what deep work is or why you should be doing deep work, then this is the book that you need to read. Go buy Cal Newport's book, Deep Work, to find out. And number 2 is Essentialism by Greg McKeown. Again, it's another book that was recommended to me when someone saw that I was doing far too much. It's like more of a philosophical approach about doing less but being happier. And it's, yeah, well, the title says a lot, essentialism, right? What is actually essential in your life? And you kind of go through life thinking, yes, I need this, yes, I need to do this, but actually you start to realize what's important, and this is a great book to kind of help you reflect on that. And of course, the last one I'm going to recommend is Atomic Habits by James Clear, and this is like the tactical side of consistency. So I think it's perfect for the one thing, because it's like, what are the tiny little habits that you're going to learn and implement into your day-to-day life to help you achieve your one thing on a day-to-day basis, and therefore all of your goals. So to me, busyness isn't success, it's basically avoidance. And the entrepreneurs who win aren't doing more, they are doing less, but just doing it better. So please tell me, what is your one thing that you are doing right now? Please drop your answer in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys are committing to.